Hey, so we're here today with a BBC presenter, a senior BBC presenter, who's given up a few minutes of her time to discuss how her working life has changed during this crisis. Hi, Reggie. Thank you so much for your time. I just wanted,
And
I just wanted to know, like, how life has changed at the BBC for you.
yeah, anytime. It's really good to talk about this because life has changed a lot. I think for presenters, probably what most people realize now, especially when you look at Twitter and people that presenters are posting, is that they're doing their own makeup now. That has changed significantly. For me, I'm working from home at the moment, and we can talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But generally, as a presenter and a senior journalist, a lot of presenters will have proper TV makeup, professional TV makeup, because it is an art, a science and an art. But because of social distancing, which the BBC has implemented now, it's just not safe to have someone up close to you doing your hair and makeup. So BBC presenters have to do their own, and it's significantly more complicated for women because more goes on. And you can look at a lot of presenters who are tweeting, and they've done time lapses of how involved it is doing their own makeup. Yeah, so it's a big change for them.
Cool. And what struggles and milestones do you think the BBC has experienced during the past few weeks?
I think the social distancing will have been very challenging. And it's not just presenters doing their own makeup, but they've changed the way the newsroom works. People are together a lot less. They're all the correct distance apart. People, like presenters or journalists, are being kept in the studio or in the galleries for shorter amounts of time, or there's fewer people for longer amounts of time, just in a bid to try and stop a lot of the interaction. And newsrooms really traditionally function with people close together, everybody right next to each other, communicating constantly. That's a huge change to try and operate as a broadcast journalist when you really are not supposed to walk up to people and talk to them anymore. It's all over the phone or over Zoom and things like that. I would say the big milestone for the BBC, and they've put a lot of figures out there, are the audiences. This is a huge time of crisis and change for the UK and for the world, and a lot of people are turning to the BBC to get the facts and to really get clear reporting and clear guidelines for what we all need to be doing. And the figures show that a lot of people are coming to the BBC for that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they are. And for you personally, as a moderator and a chair at private events and event communication in general, obviously, private events, big events are all kind of, postponed, cancelled, or closing at the moment. But how do you see like this period of time transforming the world of events, like the events industry?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough, right? You can't hold an event right now. You can't have people in a room together, and that is traditionally all the events have been based on. That is, it is about getting your ticket and attending, and as a chair, about having people in the room and balancing all those discussions. But I had some spare time a couple of weeks ago, and I watched the virtual opening of um, a exhibition in Stockholm at a Swedish art gallery, and they had timed this opening and no one could attend, so they did it all online, and it was fascinating. And I think it says that there's a lot of room for events to move into the virtual. You can have people on a chat asking questions and a moderator at the actual event managing that. So you could use a presenter who would normally chair the questions for people in the room to manage that chat. You could virtually have people perhaps having private discussions with the panelists afterwards. You could offer that, and you could just generally try and recreate the event online, but using the fact that you're online and the technology is a virtue. So I think there's a lot of room to move into that area, and I suspect a lot of events managements will start to go there, especially as lockdowns continue and they can't just go back to what they used to do before.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And in terms of your schedule, like, has it had any change? Like, is it any different?
Yeah, life has changed a little bit for me. At the moment, I'm working from home. So what I've been doing is reporting for the BBC from home, just basically telling stories that we wouldn't normally be telling based on what's been going on. So any kind of story internationally. But that means that I have to operate from exactly where I am now. So I write my pieces and I record them on this little microphone, which I plug in. You can see the laptop behind me because the sound is better on that laptop. The sound card is um, just sounds a little bit clearer. And I'm sure people have seen it online when there are television and radio reporters. I have to put a sheet over my head to try and stop the echo and block out the noise and recreate a little studio. But it has to be said that I can do that because of the team. Who are still in the newsroom, who feed me pictures, and a picture editor who puts it all together. So we still very much need each other, and we need people back at base so that we can for those of us who are functioning remotely, we can continue to do that.
That's cool. And in terms of like the activity in the BBC, like have you seen a significant shift in social media activity versus regular TV broadcasting?
It's what's interesting to me, especially as the BBC reports the new figures, so viewers for the 1, 6 and 10, the main news programs for domestics, is while there's still a lot of social media activity, obviously people are still going to be on Twitter and Facebook and other mediums, and they're still commenting there. People are actually, because they're home, they're turning back to traditional mediums. They're watching television when they wouldn't have normally. But I do think a lot of outlets, not just the BBC, are still utilizing social media by posting the stories that we're doing and that they're doing in bite-sized pieces on social media, on YouTube, and there's a lot of traffic there. So I think social media is still key in the same way it has always been, but it still comes back really to the journalism, the really good, strong journalism, and that journalism is either shared on social media or it's being shared by more traditional mediums.
Interesting. Yeah. And I just wanted to thank you for this few minutes that you gave us, for the insights you provided us, for information that most of us really don't know, how the BBC is functioning behind the scenes, how communications are functioning behind the scenes. So thank you so much, Regid. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.